One taxidermy shop in India stuffed 25,000 tigers and 30,000 leopards in 50 years. Just let those numbers sink in. 25,000, 30,000. Yeah? And you think it's no wonder that the cheetah is extinct in India now. Elephants, rhinos, tigers, they're endangered. You know, the Western way of thinking is man can come and they can do what they like with the world. Forget about the consequences. Hinduism doesn't think that way. It really doesn't. We worship nature. If you read the Vedas, you read any text, you'll see all of the animals, they're part of the stories. Yeah, they're such poetic, beautiful descriptions of nature. So that's another thing I really love about Hinduism. Now, on a very practical level, a couple of things I really love about Hinduism is how much it has helped me. So I just described earlier how I had a physics degree, a PhD in statistics from Oxford. So I've always worked very hard, and I've always had a very fulfilling, happy life. Growing up as a Christian, but then being exposed to Hinduism, discovering Hinduism, has taken my resilience, my courage to a completely new level. I now, last year, felt brave enough to actually set up my own company. And I do really credit that to Hinduism, because in my previous way of thinking, I would always be worrying, what does someone think about me? If I do that mistake, oh no, that means I'm a bad person. And that comes from that Christian way of thinking that, you do bad things, you will go to hell. You will burn in hell for eternity. Whereas Hinduism, we don't think like that. We appreciate that everyone is on their own individual journey. Some people go up, some people go down, fine. You're on your journey. So if you say something horrible about me, something goes wrong in my business, okay, that's one of the downs, I'll rise again. It's, you think of Newton's third law, and it probably isn't due to Newton originally, but every action has a reaction. When we are thinking about karma, how we live our different lives, we are accumulating this karma, and ultimately we have lifetimes of opportunity to make good for all the bad things that we have done, all the wrong decisions we have made. It's not the absolute end of the world if something bad happens to us. We still have lifetimes to do good, to learn more things. So I really find that has really empowered me. And if I get a nasty email from someone at work, I think, oh well, they're on their journey, maybe I made a mistake. Oh well, I'll try harder next time. I don't think, oh no, I don't go into depression because I've done something wrong and I'm going to burn in hell for the rest of my life. Yeah? And another way that Hinduism, I find, really builds up your mental strength is because it's not materialistic. In the West, people attach their self-worth to things, to status, to money. Hinduism, we don't do that, actually. If you think of the rishis, actually, they detach themselves from the world. They choose not to have possessions. They choose to have a simple life. And actually, there's been epidemiological studies that have shown that the more a person identifies with a Western lifestyle, the more they identify with how much money they have, with that their value is linked to how they look, all this material stuff, the more likely they are to commit suicide, the more likely they are to be depressed, the more likely they are to have a divorce. So actually, Hinduism, it really is the most, on a very practical level, such a protective force. It almost makes you a super person. That's really how I feel. It has elevated me. So that's why I love Hinduism. So, does anyone have any thoughts they want to share with me about what I just said? Has that been something completely new to you? Or?
What's the main factor that influenced you to become Hindu?
The main factor? There hasn't been one main thing. As I said, it's been lots of these little things. So actually one thing that really I found amazing is I used to have a terrible chronic migraine, like literally every day. For about a 3-4 year period after my PhD, I had like migraine every day. And I went to a Shambhavi Mahamudra course by Sadhguru. Have you heard of Sadhguru? Yeah. In London at the Excel Centre. And then I did Shambhavi Mahamudra for 60 days, twice a day for 60 days. And you know what? My migraines actually pretty much disappeared. It was honestly unbelievable. After 3.5 years of every day, it just vanished. So for me, that really shook me. I thought, wow, there's something in there.
What do you study?
What do I study?
Yeah, what physics?
So it was a standard physics degree, and the topics I really enjoyed were to do with actually MRI and ultrasound imaging. So I then applied to Oxford to do a PhD in medical imaging. So my PhD is in statistics, applied to medical imaging, and I now have my own medical imaging technology company. We're developing our own technologies.
Tell them about the YouTube channel.
Yes, actually, that's a very good idea. So, if you're wanting to know more about my journey exploring Hinduism, if you found that interesting, or even if you want to know more about the facts that some of the facts you've already heard, but I've made some really nice interactive videos with lots of nice graphics, then do go onto my YouTube channel. It's called English Behen Kedilse. English Behen Kedilse, yeah, everyone remember that one? And I know there's maybe about 40 videos there at the moment. I'm continually adding to them. So I hope to really be appealing to young people, because my ambition, or I know that my husband and I will be moving to India soon. And I would love to think that some of you in the room might aspire to move to India in the future. Because actually, that is your thing as well?
Yeah, I'm also moving back.
Yeah, move back, absolutely. I mean, that's the way things are going. Jobs, opportunities, science, technology, that's the place I want my company to be. I don't want it to be in the UK. So yeah, I really hope some of you might think about moving to India in the future.